Welcome to episode 111 of Freshly Grounded. Today we are joined with nobody. It's just Sam and I.
Yeah.
Abdul Samad and
the originals.
Yeah. And we have some new updates. The main one is that Sam has hair that is longer than it was previously when he was
it's
last.
Not longer than it was previously. It's just styled in a slightly different direction. And Faisal's got quite excited about it during the episode. He mentions it a few times. But all it is really is I've just I've slipped my head back rather than brushing it forward. So nothing major, nothing to get excited about, guys. So what else did we discuss?
We discussed
you starting to work with the skipping rope company.
We discussed what we would eat as our last meal if we were on death. I mean, just if our last meal. Yeah. Breakfast. We start our main dessert and drink.
Yeah.
We discussed morning routines.
Yes.
Again. Yeah. Running with your eyes closed.
Yes. Skipping ropes. And your new collaboration with what company is it that you work for now?
No, there's no company at all. I'm going to try and get our own those exact ropes. Freshly grounded branded ones, but the exact same ones. Why not, bro?
Why not?
So then we put it into our system.
Yeah, put it into the system. It can filter through into the.
Yeah. So we speak about financial systems and dialing it up.
Dialing it up and dialing it down as well.
Dialing it down. Travel, food. We speak about traveling first class. It's a fun episode, man.
It is a good episode, yeah.
But before we get into the episode, guys, before we listen to it, when we did our last event, Sam, we actually had some people, they paid for tickets and they either couldn't make it because they were so far away, they didn't live nearby, or they just were unable to make it, right? But they still bought tickets, and they sent us messages and they said emails saying, hey, I can't come to the Freshly Grounded event, but I wanted to buy a ticket to show my support to you guys. So just do with it what you want. And so first of all, we're so grateful that we have listeners who really love Freshly Grounded to that extent. But what I would say is that there is a really cool way in which those of you who do feel like that, and it's not obligatory, our Freshly Grounded will always be provided for free. But those who do feel like that, there is an avenue or better avenue of doing that, and that's and it's actually cheaper price-wise than a ticket to the event, but it's by supporting us on Patreon. And what that means is that you provide that you pay £5 a month, and it's basically like a premium account for Freshly Grounded, and with it you get some really cool stuff. You get every episode of Freshly Grounded one day early, and if we do it even earlier than that, then you get it a few days early. Like this particular episode we shot on Wednesday and it doesn't come out till Friday, so likelihood is that you'll get it on Wednesday, so you get 2 days early. Where we can, you'll also get the video early. You also get all of the episodes ad-free, so without this massive intro. And you get a few other perks, like you get VIP seats maybe at our events, or discounts on our merch. And if we get these jump ropes, then you're going to get discount on the jump ropes. The point is that is an amazing way which you guys, if you do feel like you want to support us, or to say thank you for anything you've ever benefited from in Freshly Grounded, that's how we would be so grateful if you could support us, because that means that we don't have to constantly seek private sponsorship. We don't have to constantly put our effort into other avenues. We can just work on building more content, better content, free content for Freshly Grounded itself, and keep Freshly Grounded how we all love it, basically. So the link for that is patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. That's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. And you can support us there.
Yes.
And that's it. The Freshly Grounded episode.
Normal.
Also another announcement that our Spotify is now up to date, Sam.
Really?
Yeah, we always had issues with Spotify.
Yeah.
We were very lackluster with it, but now you guys could always consume Freshly Grounded on YouTube and iTunes, and you could also consume it on Spotify. However, we were never really keeping up to date, and it was all a bit of a mess and it was all disorganized. So now Freshly Grounded is officially on Spotify, completely up to date. Every episode will be up to date. It's all organized, and all you have to do is go to Spotify and search Freshly Grounded. I found one error with it. It seemed like it was showing up 2 podcasts called Freshly Grounded. Both of them were ours, and one of them was working perfectly fine. The other one was a bit weird. So hopefully that Spotify have ironed that out. But yeah, you can also listen to us on Spotify. But if you do listen to us on iTunes, which I would recommend. Please do give us a rating. Give us a 5-star rating and help us get to the top of the charts, baby.
Please.
That's it. Freshly Grounded 111.
Let's go.
111.
111.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
No, after that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
So remember the last episode that we did together, which was the week before last, and we were speaking about motivational speakers.
Yes.
And we were speaking about the 4-hour work week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, this past week, I've been inspired by a new person. His name is Ramit Sethi. Yeah, he's this Indian guy living in New York, and he's like an investor or something. Yeah, but what inspires me is not his accomplishments, but it's his mindset. It's amazing, bro. And so I was listening to this interview with him that was about 2.5 hours long throughout the week. I managed to finish it. I actually managed to finish it, I believe, this morning. I think the last 11 minutes, and I've been listening to it. I think maybe for the past week or maybe week and a half. And his mentality, bro, I find so inspiring because this is talking about financial organization in general, and mindset and living an accomplished life. And he talks about it a lot in regards to finances. And I won't talk the whole podcast about this guy. I would recommend people listen to his interview, which is on Tim Ferriss's podcast. His name is Ramit Sethi. But I picked out a few points that I think were really amazing. Okay, so the first one is he basically said that he would go to people and say to them, and he still does this as an experiment. He'll go to them and say to them, if I could give you, or if you got £10,000 cash tomorrow, what would you do with it? Yeah. And I won't ask you that question, but he basically said the majority of people, what they do is they have a false sense. They look at their future self with a really optimistic lens, and they say, I'll give this much to charity, and I'll save this much, and I'll pay off my debts, I'll pay off my credit card debts, I'll pay this much to taxes, etc., 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 right? And he said that that's such an optimistic, that he noticed that all of these people are viewing themselves in such an optimistic way because they're basically saying, I'll pay off my credit card debts, X, Y, Z. But he said that an answer that he would prefer is something like, I don't know what I would do with it, but if my past habits are anything to go by, I'm probably going to end up in debt with it or something.
Okay.
That's a realistic way to look at it, because you're saying, he said it's like saying, if I it's the same mindset as people saying, if I had all the time in the world, I would go to the gym 5 days a week. But that's such an optimistic way to look at your life, because what in your past or what in your micro habits shows that you would actually do that.
Yeah.
So he said that. So what is the solution, right? He said that how would he answer the question, as Ramit Sethi, yeah? And he said that I have a system just for everything in my life. I have a system, and one of the biggest systems I have is for my finances. I don't remember if I told you, Sam, but I over a year ago, almost just under a year ago, about a year ago now, I started this new financial system, organizing my finances through spreadsheets, and before I was never like that. Did I tell you about that?
Maybe I didn't know you did a spreadsheet.
Okay, I have a spreadsheet.
Did you have an app on your phone that you monitors everything at one point?
I did. That didn't work.
Right,
yeah,
right.
so I have a spreadsheet now, and my spreadsheet. So I have one spreadsheet for personal finances, which is always updated. One spreadsheet, and the personal finances spreadsheet I look at throughout the month in general, but my big time that I look at is on the first of every month, because most of my bills, for example, come out on the first of every month. And this is, by the way, something that's great for anyone, regardless. It's great for anyone regardless of if your salary, if you're just bringing in £250 a month, or if you're bringing in, I don't know, 10 grand or whatever, because it's just about having an organization. And then I have a spreadsheet for my house expenses, and that spreadsheet, for example, is shared with my missus, so she can always look at not keep an eye on what's coming in and out, but to see what is it that we're doing. So, for example, how much money are we spending in a month on our food shopping? Just so we know, just so we could track it, just so we like, is that realistic? Is that, should we see if we can like reduce the budget a bit, or do we need to temper that? So, and then my last spreadsheet that I have is Freshly Grounded. And then when we do events for Freshly Grounded, I open up a new spreadsheet specifically for that event. It's like a subsidiary of the large Freshly Grounded spreadsheet. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. So he said that if someone was to say to me, Ramit Sethi, if I give you 10 grand tomorrow cash, what would you do with it? He would say, simply, I would put it into my financial system.
Okay.
And his financial system is like, and then that tells all the money where to go. So, for example, he would take that 10 grand, he'd put it into his bank account, his debit. What is it called? In America, it's called a checking account. What's a normal bank account called here? A debit account? No.
Yeah, a debit card.
A current account.
Current account.
Yeah,
Current account.
I'd put it into my current account, and so then it would sieve into the places that it falls into. So if your for example financial structure is that for all of the money that comes in, you give 10% away to charity, you pay 20% on tax, you always save this much for your emergency fund, etc. It just falls into place like that. The point is that that's such a better way of...
So he would... Are you saying that he has a system that he would automatically put the money where it needs to be?
No, it's not automated, but the point is that the system exists. So...
Did you go into detail about... So what would he do with 10 grand if he was given 10 grand?
It would fall into a system. So his system would be something like...
Is that system what in his head or what he's...
Yeah, it's like... It'll be like in his head and on spreadsheets and stuff.
Fine.
So an example of a system, and this is the system that... this is a simple version. This is the system that Dave Ramsey preaches, who is this like Christian financial quote-unquote guru, right? He's very good at what he does. His system is for like anyone and everyone, and it basically says that you start by saving a £1,000 emergency fund, and then you pay off all your debts in a debt snowball, starting from smallest to largest. Even though smallest to largest is not mathematically correct, because the largest ones are going to be probably the ones you should tackle first. But he's saying Dave Ramsey's quote is, if we did maths, then you wouldn't be in this position. We do smallest to largest because being in a financial problem is not a mathematical issue. It's a personality issue and a mental issue. So you start with smallest to largest, because once you pay off that £50 debt, then you feel, I paid that off, and you get hyped and you pay off the £100 debt. And so then you pay off for your debt. So you got a £1,000 emergency fund, you pay off for your debts. Next is to save a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, so an actual emergency fund. So the £1,000 emergency fund is more so like, if your car breaks down tomorrow and it costs £200 to replace the engine, you can afford it, but you're putting your focus on your debts, right? But once you've cleared your debts, you need to have an actual emergency fund, which is 3 to 6 months worth of living. So let's say it takes you £1,500 a month to live, then you save like just 3 months of that would be £4,500. So that would mean that if, for example, you get let off your job, you can still survive for 3 months while you try and transition to a new job. So let's just take the first 3 steps of his financial plan, Dave Ramsey's. That would mean that if someone gave you £10,000 tomorrow and you were in £5,000 debt, that you'd put that into your account. 1,000 of that 10,000 would go into your emergency fund. 5,000 would go into paying off your debt. So now that's 6,000 gone. So you got £4,000 left, and then that £4,000 would go into your actual emergency fund. So by the end of it,
what's the difference between the £1,000 emergency fund and the actual emergency fund? That's if you lost your job, that's what you rely on, and the other one is
the £1,000 emergency fund is that everyone should have an emergency fund because anything could happen at any time.
Fine.
But you're in loads of debt. So,
but you've got 2 separate emergency funds.
No, it becomes one, but the £1,000 is a temporary one while you sort out your debts.
Okay.
Because you need to get yourself out of debt, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So my point is that I found that very inspiring. That basically Ramit Sethi, he basically preaches like organisation in every situation. Mm-hmm. I think he goes a bit extreme. This is my personal opinion. In that he actually has something like, I don't know if it's weekly or something, but he has scheduled meetings with his wife where they sit together, they take notes, and they discuss everything that needs to be discussed as a couple. That like things that we need to work on, or like
really,
all of this kind of stuff. But I think that's a bit extreme, personally.
So that's nothing to do with his finances. That's to do with his relationship.
Exactly. So he's organized. So he has plans and everything. So he preaches basically organization and planning ahead. Obviously, you can only plan so much. We know that we plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. Point is though, he's tying his camel. So he said that he knew that statistically speaking, he probably would get married when he gets older, and he did get married. And so when he became financially stable, you got to bear in mind that my man's proper rich, yeah. But when he became financially stable, he had a section of his savings was for his wedding. He didn't even meet he hadn't even met his wife yet. But he knew that he's probably gonna get married, so that when he did get married, he could pay off his wedding and stuff. And so
interesting.
I don't know about the relationship thing though. I think that's too. I feel like if I was in a relationship and my partner said to me, my missus said to me, let's have like a weekly meeting, I feel like I would be like, we don't have to treat this like work.
Was it definitely weekly though?
No, but it's recurrent.
But so what happens if imagine he's in a toxic relationship that maybe needs that extra little bit of organisation and tender love and care?
Yeah, well look,
in the sense that we actually need to sit down and discuss these things, because maybe to avoid.
You're right, because he said it works really great, and he says that his relationship is great, and a lot of it is to do with that. So maybe you're right.
Yeah,
I just haven't tried that.
Yeah.
For me, it sounds.
Maybe because you're not had it to. Maybe if you're in the situation where you have been through something where you maybe need to sit down and discuss.
So what they do is,
I think weekly is a lot though, isn't it?
Yeah. What they do is then he then takes a picture of his notes, and then it goes onto the computer, and then he can like look back on the notes like whenever. So he could say like January 2015, I said that I would like work more on this, and oh look, like it's amazing that like we used to talk about this kind of stuff, now we talk about this kind of stuff.
Right, okay, that's interesting.
So he was talking about that. It was a very, very inspiring interview, man. I took a lot of inspiration from it. Can
I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What would you do with £10,000 cash?
It would go into my system.
Fine.
Yeah.
Did you have that system before you listened to this?
I've had it for about 1 year now.
Of course, you've got your system. Yeah, but does your system cover, what to do with each bit of money?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I basically realised that there cannot be any money in your bank account that doesn't have a label on it. If it doesn't have a label on it, there's something wrong with it. Now, I don't have I'll give you an example, because so on my spreadsheet, one of the things it says on my spreadsheet is house fund, to like if I want to eventually buy a house, like because I don't quite know the details of it, but it looks like if I want to buy a house, it's going to have to be outright, isn't it? So that's one of the sections of my spreadsheet is house fund, and I can like add to it whenever I want. That way, that money now has a label on it. Now, currently, the house fund has £0 in it. Point is that the fund is that section has been created, and if I want to, so if I do ever have to spend money, I've like no idea what to do with it. If I look at my spreadsheet, I'm like, well,
I've got a house fund there.
I've got a house fund, or a Hajj. I have a Hajj fund.
It's
because I need £10,000 to go to Hajj realistically, because 5k per person really, and there's 2 of us. So, the point is that if someone said to me, you have 100 grand to give you, I have a Hajj fund I need 10 grand in. I have a house fund that I've got 0 money in. That's probably going to be a good 30-year investment, that house fund. X, Y, Z. So it's good to have that system in place. Now, I don't have. Some people might say, well, why have that system if you don't have the income for it? But you need a system, man. And the system prioritizes stuff as well. What do you think about that?
I agree. No, I agree with it. 100%. I agree with it. I think I've got it there, but maybe I hadn't been as conscious to it where I've called it like a money system. But from what you described, I've got exactly the same thing. I think it's a necessity.
Has to be.
Yeah, a necessity. That's interesting.
Especially with your line of work in that, because you're a business owner, I assume that the month to month, your the finances that come in could vary. And if they vary, then you have to have a system in place, because you have to know what's happening with everything.
Certainly. Yeah, definitely. It does vary, yeah.
And likewise, your outgoings must vary. So for you, I suppose the system has to be a lot different in the sense that maybe you have more irregular expenses. Oh no, because I suppose you have your business expenses and your personal expenses. Everyone's personal expenses tend to be quite regular, like gym membership, house rent, and this, that, the other.
Yeah.
He also speaks about optimizing your. Okay, so this is the thing that I want to speak about the most, right? Because I find this so inspiring, and I know the podcast has started with me like preaching and going on, but this bit I found very, very inspiring. He looks at money, and again, bear in mind that he's extremely wealthy, so it's a bit different. But he looks at money as a dial function. Yeah, like imagine like your thermostat at your house, and because he doesn't look at it as, in order to be frugal, we have to cut down on everything, which is what he explained is what most people see finances as a situation where, in order to be frugal, you have to cut down expenses on everything. So do we need to eat out every week or every month, or do we need to spend this much on our gym bill or this much on this? He thinks that's the wrong way of looking at it, and that's how the majority of people look at it. They also explain that I said that he's very wealthy, but they explain that there's no amount of money that you could have that you can't spend. Like, you can always spend all of your money. Yeah. Even if you had £1 million in your account, or if you had £1 million right now on the table, if you wanted to, bro, you could spend it in the next 30 minutes. So easily. So you have to have a system, bro. Yeah. So he, in order to be frugal, he doesn't use the one that the majority of people in the world use, which is, let's just make sure we try and cut down let's be careful of everything we spend. He rather uses, I think, like a mentality which he calls like the dial mentality. So when he's listed like 2 things in his life that he loves and that he could just go super extravagant on, and on that he turns the dial right up, he 10x's it. Right, and then there's things that he doesn't necessarily care about so much, and for that he's extremely frugal. Example he gave was that food is something that him and his wife don't necessarily obsess over constantly eating out. Yeah, so he becomes frugal on that. So they buy food and they cook at home pretty much every day, because and that saves them a lot of money because they don't need to. Another aspect is I can't remember, but then there's things that he really loves being extravagant on, and he feels like for his own happiness he shouldn't have to reduce that, because
so he turns it up.
Right, if he turns it right down on this thing, he could turn it right up here, rather than averaging it up. And so, for example, the thing that he really loves and would, no matter how much money he has, would like to go extravagant on is, for example,
cars.
Travel and convenience.
Okay.
So he says that for me, convenience is so important that I'm willing to spend a lot of money on it. Even travel, like when he travels, if he flies he has an agreement with his wife that if they fly for somewhere for longer than 5 hours, they'll book business class, which, as you know, is 10 times. Literally, bro, when we went to Dubai, it cost us £300 for a return flight, and we saw that the business class flight was £3,000, so it's 10 times the amount of money. But because he turns the dial right up there, because he feels like he justifies that by turning the dial right down on things that he doesn't necessarily value. Like, let's say he doesn't really value having a really nice car. He might drive around, a Corsa, which for someone who has his net worth would be weird, but maybe he just needs to get from A to B.
I mean, I appreciate turning it down for things like food and stuff. You're definitely gonna save money there. But if you spin it right up with things like flights and it's quite a big difference in if you turn it up in certain areas. Yeah. There's no limit on that turn up.
But he said there's
automobiles, traveling, all that kind of holidays. Think about it, if you turn it up. Yeah, okay, cool. You turn it down when you go to buy some trainers because you don't like that many trainers, so you spend $40 on some trainers rather than $400. Cool, I get that. But then suddenly he steps outside from shopping and sees a Ferrari garage and goes, "Woo! I'm going to turn that up and go and buy three new motors." There's a balance.
You're right.
I'm not saying he's got flaws in his system. I'm just saying I really admire that, but it all kind of levels out depending where you're turning that dial up to.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean? Because food, I admire that. But then they definitely would save money there if they're cooking at home. But it's kind of easy. So I'll turn it down there. We'll save some money at home. But then when I do, go to Hawaii and see that big mansion on the beach, I'm going to spin that thing. I'm going to spin this bad boy back up and go and buy that big.
But I do think though that like for example, if you ate out every day, let's say even 5 days a week, like
I was just thinking that it would add up to a huge amount of money.
You'd spend minimum, bro.
Especially if it was a nice restaurant or somewhere, and you went with your missus, and you went for.
How much do you reckon you'd spend on a date? 60 minimum, 50.
So what? You and your missus are going for a lunch. Let's just say
dinner every night. Dinner
every night. Let's say £100 just to.
Yeah, because he's wealthy.
He's wealthy. He's not going to go somewhere. Well, it depends where his diet is, but if he goes, let's say go somewhere average, just above average.
£100 a lot, bro. Right, let's say £100.
Starters, main, desserts.
Yeah, especially with the places
and a bottle of
that you kind
sparkling
of go to,
water.
fine. So that's £500 a week. That's £2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Now, if he's saving £2,000 a month and goes on holiday with his missus once a year, and he's saving like £20,000 a year, spending £3,000 on a business class ticket now doesn't seem so bad, does it?
It's true, but I'm sure that however he gets from his house to the airport, and then from the airport, yeah,
you're right.
There's savings. There's obviously my not my argument, but like just the thing to be aware of, which is where you're turning that up, because you can turn it down in areas where you're definitely going to save money, and yes, obviously over a course of time it will be a lot of money. But then if you're turning up in areas which are just with which you can spend a huge amount of money, it's almost irrelevant saving that £2,000.
You're right.
But I'm sure he has it patterned. I'm sure he has it
Yeah,
structured.
I'm sure he's
but I'm just saying, like, if you were
yeah.
to try and take from this conversation, try and take away that dial, I think my dial would go up in the wrong areas, and it was almost like, oh, why did I turn it down in other areas?
Yeah. And it's also hard to have that discipline, bro, because you have to, if you're giving yourself that
It's good though, because he's obviously got a lot of money, which is different from most people. If you've got a lot of money to play with, and there's something that you like, and you can just spend whatever you want, you can almost have that dial mentality, and then you think, do you know what, I still need to save some money. Yeah, but
like you said, that one of the most important factors is that he is very wealthy.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is like a multi-millionaire. So it's hard for us to understand. But I think his point is that mentality can be scaled down to any person. So if a person is on a £1,500 a month salary, you could still use that mentality, because instead of going to Nando's and spending 20 quid, you're spending £2 by getting the ingredients and having enough food for dinner, and there'll be leftovers for lunch tomorrow at work, and therefore you spent £2 on 2 meals where you could have spent £40 on 2 meals, or let's say if you spent £20 on Nando's and you spent a tenner on lunch at work, that's 30 quid. So you spent £2 instead of, or let's say realistically you spent £4 instead of £30. You saved £27. But then let's say you want to go out with your what you really enjoy is like the gym, and you'd prefer to go, you could go to a Rago gym that just has gym equipment, or you go to one that has like a sauna and all that kind of stuff, and it costs £60 a month rather than £30 a month. You're turning the dial up on the gym and you're turning it down. So I suppose
I think we all definitely do it. I think we all definitely have that dial. There's definitely areas that certain things that I would spend money on, and there's other areas in my life that I wouldn't spend as much money on. And you've even
what are the areas that you would?
I'm not going to go into it too much, but little things like, let's just say you and I, you would purchase a TV that you could talk to and with your hands like put it on. No, I wouldn't care. I'd get I wouldn't want the most up to date TV, but quite a basic one is fine with me. I wouldn't honestly care that much, but I would rather go maybe somewhere else and spend the money on another thing that you wouldn't even for a second entertain. So we've got the dials there. We have got those dials.
That's true.
We have got those dials.
That's true.
Like you'd get like a remote control that you can like drive your car with and open the doors of your house and open the windows.
That is true.
That's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just the thought of that excites you.
I love convenience.
You like convenience, but you like gadgets and Apple.
Stuff, I think like the one thing I mentioned before in the podcast that I absolutely love, but I could never justify, I don't think, would be flying business class.
Flying business class.
But you could actually justify it because of how tall you are. Like, genuinely, I can't justify. I'm 5'7".
We were offered business class when we went to Jordan, and I was gassed because there's 300 quid. I was like, no way, I get to fly business class for £300, and I was considering it. Didn't do it. Was considering it, and then basically it was I had 2 flights. Didn't get it on the way out there. I thought, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it on the other flight, which was the longer flight. So I had 2. One flight was 2 hours, the other flight was 4 hours, let's say. So I thought I'm going to get the business class on the 4-hour flight, 300 quid, enjoy it, and it'll be 4 hours, But when I got on the first flight, I realised their business class was not proper business class. It was pretty much just premium economy. And it was like, they call it business. And I was wondering, like, how can you charge 300 quid for a business class? But they advertised it, business class upgrades, And I didn't do it, alhamdulillah, and I'm so glad I didn't, because all it is the front of the plane, there was no real difference other than you had like a little private curtain and a tiny bit more space. But I thought I was going to get a business class for 300 quid.
What airline was that?
I can't remember, man.
Because I experienced that with British Airways.
It wasn't British Airways. I can't remember. It wasn't very good.
It was like there was like a £300 difference when I flew with British Airways, because it was like their smaller plane, and the only difference was that the seat in the middle is free.
Yeah, that's probably what. Yeah, because they had all the seats as normal. It looked exactly the same, but I think maybe they just didn't sell the middle seat. But it turned out that we had there was some spaces on the plane anyway, so we had that. We had the same thing anyway.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thinking if I get to have that experience of business class for £300, wow. But obviously it wasn't. It would be insane to think that you could get that experience for £300 extra. As you know, like you mentioned, it's about 10 times. I would like to experience it once.
Have you never experienced business
Never
class?
experienced it.
The other thing is with business
But that's talking about the dial.
Yeah.
I would rather, if I say someone gave me a budget for a holiday, yeah, I would rather put more money in the hotel on the other end and rough that flight.
Yeah.
In fact, I would rough that flight all day long if it means I could put more money into when I'm there doing more nice dinners, more like. I would hate to downgrade my hotel, which I'm in for a week or 2 weeks, to have a really amazing journey on the flight out of convenience and luxury and have that experience, than to have, economy and get there and have and have something really special.
And at the end of the day, everyone's on the same plane anyway. You're all going to get there at the same time.
Ultimately, and it's a very uncomfortable flight, especially a long flight. It is uncomfortable. It is quite rubbish. But let's face it, you get there and
what
you
do you
forget
think about
about
going to Australia though? 24 hours.
I would stop at Bali probably. I would stop.
That's still like an 18-hour flight to Bali or something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'd do. It's still not 24 hours, is it? I would stop. I would have to stop, have a nice holiday.
So
then
you
jump
being
back
6'6" would be happy on a 24-hour flight?
I can't
basically.
afford to get a business class to Australia. That's for
it
sure.
must be mad.
Yeah,
How much do you
big
reckon
money.
that costs?
Big money. But my uncle actually recently did it, and he was. My uncle is a. I'm not sure exactly what his job title is. He deals with.
So he works at the MI5.
But he basically he flew and on his flight to Australia he had 3 separate meetings with business partners on that one flight.
Wow.
And in his own meeting room within the plane, and in between he had showers, dinners, sleep, whatever. But on that one flight he had 3 separate meetings in a meeting room on a plane. I just thought that was amazing, maximising time. But he flies nice, but obviously that's all part of what he does.
Obviously, that's when you aspire.
But when I'm talking to him, it's not flying. He's not saying, "Oh, I hate sitting in normal seats." It's just like I've got so much work to do. It just needs to be done in the most convenient, comfortable way. So when there's a real reason, it makes sense. But I can't see myself necessarily doing that. And this.
What's it like having James Bond as an uncle?
This is a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
It's business development or something.
He's a spy.
It might be a spy. But yeah, I was really impressed by having 3 meetings in a meeting room in a plane. I'd love to have that. Would you? Imagine having a meeting.
Yeah,
imagine having a meeting in a plane, in a meeting room in a plane. I just think that you're doing something special if you have to have 3 meetings on a plane.
Yeah.
You're doing something right, surely.
But so did those people fly just to get that meeting?
And
then they get to their destination. Like, what do I do now?
But I think obviously the business out in Australia, they went back and forth, whatever. My sister lives in Australia.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
this
that.
conversation's come up about, are you going to go and see it? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, what about the flight? And I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. And they're like, why don't you stop at Bali? So when you asked me what would I do, I said, that was recently mentioned. I thought that's quite nice. That's a nice thought. It's a long way though.
There's a program called Long Lost Families or something. It's when like people who they get like given up for adoption at birth, and then they try and find their parents and stuff. And it was on the telly, and this one lady, she was like, or one guy who was looking for his mum or something, and in London, and she had like moved to Australia after like, and then this guy's like 50 years old. He hasn't seen his mum since he was born, and yeah, they had to fly to Australia. I just thought about that.
I'm glad you brought that to the table.
Thanks. Speaking of tables, there's this new video out called Roundtable Discussion with like Jim Carrey and like all the big comedians, and one of the guys said something, and it was really interesting because he said it's this idea and this mentality that we were kind of speaking about just now off air of like the grass always being green on the other side. And he said that he's really famous, and he said that he came from a small town, and in a small town, everyone like always knows each other, and they know everyone's business. And so he wanted to move to a big city almost for anonymity, and that's where he became famous. And so like he wasn't anonymous. But isn't it weird, Sam, how like everyone who comes from a small town, the one thing that they always say is that everyone knows each other's business, and I hate being in a small town because of that reason. And then when you live in like a big city, you're almost like you almost be like, oh, it'd be nice to like maybe like eventually move to like a small town to have your privacy.
Grass is always greener.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
But I have to agree that it is a sensible thought process to, if you worked in the city, to think, do you know what? I'm looking forward to the day when I can wind down a little bit in the city and go and live in the countryside. I think that's I don't think that's necessarily grass is green. I think that's just like thinking, actually, do you know what? I would actually like to have a few years of peace and quiet, maybe.
You say that, but I went somewhere a few weeks ago, and it was in like the countryside or something, and even just to get to a convenience store, like the corner shop was like, you have to drive.
I love that thought though, man. Why do you need to go to a convenience store?
To get something that's convenient.
Yeah,
like,
but what do you need to go to get from a convenience store?
okay, you run out of...
Just tell me, what
fine.
do
You've run out of washing up liquid.
So on your weekly shop that you do in the supermarket that's 25 minutes down the road, you make sure you get loads of stock and you put it in your larder back in the cottage.
Well, there's an emergency. You had guests around.
Okay.
There's been a big spillage for
Yeah.
which you've used lots of kitchen towels, and now you need more.
Where's the spillage?
Kitchen.
And what's spilled?
Milk everywhere.
Milk everywhere.
Everywhere.
So I'll go up to the bathroom, get some old towels, and just simply mop up the milk. Milk's mopped up, towels are ruined, throw them in the way, put the thing up, dial up, go to the shop, go and buy some nice towels. Turn it down, come home,
Eat some soup.
feed the children water and dust. Turn it up, go into my huge bed, watch the TV. Yeah, grass is always green.
Yeah, it's true. It is, man. SubhanAllah. Always green on the other side.
Yeah.
You said you went for a run this morning.
I went for a beautiful run this morning,
So
man.
do you run, bro? I didn't know this about you.
Do I run?
Yeah.
I can run, yeah.
No, so regularly?
Currently, I wouldn't say I'm a regular runner, but it's part of my... When I exercise, I run. Yeah, I like to run. I really enjoy running. I went for a really, really nice run this morning, man.
So you go before eating, after eating?
Before.
So you
First thing I did this morning, well, I fed my children and then I went for a run. And I really, really, like I said, I really enjoyed it.
I hate that.
Nah.
I hate every sound, every part of that.
Nah. Okay, fine. Got up. I thought, oh, what did I feel?
Apart from feeding the kids,
I feel like, obviously that's good. I felt a bit sluggish, but my mind felt very, very positive. So I thought, you know what, I need to try and just feel good. So fed them, Weetabix, done. Put my shorts on, put my t-shirt on. I'm moving out of my house in 2 days.
Wow.
And I love my house. I love the area I live in, and there's a park right across the road. So I wanted to go and spend some time in the park. So I went for a run around the park, and it was sunny, and as I was running, the sun was just beaming on my face, and it was just a gorgeous experience. In fact, I had my eyes closed, and it was just really nice.
Wait, you're running with
I was
your eyes
running with
closed?
my eyes closed.
For how long?
Couldn't have been longer than 7 seconds. Because
Bro.
I thought, if I trip...
Yeah.
But it's a really nice park, and the whole thing was just lit, the sun was just had lit this whole park up. It looked like somewhere in Spain or somewhere. It was just boom, and it was just lovely. It was a nice little run. Got my sweat on.
Do you have good stamina?
I can run a little bit,
Really?
but like I said,
I can't.
at the minute. I'm not running that much. I need to get back into it. But running is my favorite exercise, man. There was a period of my life when I was quite overweight. I got so fed up with being overweight, and I thought, right, I'm just gonna lose this weight. And all I did was ran, and I ran like twice a day. And I lost like so much weight. I thought, wow, it's so easy to lose weight running. I remember just thinking, running it's easy. Anyone can do it at any time, anywhere. Like, you don't have to go to the gym. You don't have to all these excuses that you could find why you couldn't get to the gym or why you didn't know what you're doing in the gym. All this kind of stuff. Running eradicates that. If you want to lose weight and get healthy, you just go for a run, and it's beautiful. Stick something in the podcast, the Quran, whatever it is. For me, like if you can learn something and exercise at the same time, I think when you finish that hour, it's just like, rah, that was a benefit. So I'm looking to run more, man. And where I'm moving to, there's a lot of like fields. So I'm hopefully going to be running. My intention is to run a lot in my new area.
Do you have a garage where you're moving?
No,
Could have done a home garage gym.
that would have been nice, but I haven't got one.
No. So what were your criteria when you were looking for a place? Because I feel like my next place in the criteria I might add garage.
It wasn't on my list, garage. There is somewhere out in the back garden that I could technically use as a gym. There's like a shed, quite a big shed. What was my criteria? So I love where I live, but I've just outgrown it. So the criteria was just make sure there's another room.
Larger roofs. Like higher.
No, just so there's more rooms in the house. Just for obviously as the family's gotten bigger, there's just more rooms are required. So that was my criteria. I wouldn't have moved where I'm from other than that. I love it. I will miss it a lot, to be fair.
How are your neighbours? Are they good?
Lovely. They came around came around last night and dropped really beautiful card saying, thank you for being such great neighbours. Must have been talking to my missus at the time. Thank you for being such great neighbours. X, Y, and Z. This is my number. If you're ever in the park across the road and needs to use the loo, please let us know. And I said, that's so nice, man.
That is nice.
You might think that's kind of... No, it is. She wrote the number.
Bit weird.
It's not weird.
Bit.
She wrote a number saying... Because obviously the park that we live opposite is lovely. She goes, if you're ever in the park and you need to use the toilet, this is my number. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, nice. Toilet.
Little does she know that you can get in her back garden and use the back garden. No, I'm joking. But...
Is there a park near you now? Where you going to
There is a
move to?
park. There is a park.
Man, 2 days, that's crazy. So are you using a moving company? You have to.
I'm not.
Oh, remember we discussed this. You said you're going to get a man with a van.
I'm not even doing that.
What are you doing? Nothing.
Of course I'm doing something. I'll be moving all week. I'm moving as you speak. We're moving. I'm moving house.
Oh, so you're just
Everything's
doing drips and
boxed
drabs?
No, tomorrow I've got a van and I'm going to move the big things tomorrow.
And does the van come with a man?
I've got a man who's not actually a man with a van. It's a man who's a friend of mine. And that man is going to get a van and then we're going to achieve this together.
You're getting a man with a van, basically. You're just doing it the long way.
Ollie Morehouse is going to help me because he's a good friend who's
nice.
going to help me out move house. And to be fair, he's helped me move the last 2 times, so I owe him a big something.
He's got a big enough car to chuck it all in his car, hasn't he?
I don't think he wants me to put things in his car, so I'm just going to get a van.
Fair enough.
So that'll be a man in a van, but not actually going to get a man with a van.
Fair.
Although that's good value.
Is it?
Yeah, I looked into it.
How much are you looking at? It can't be more. It can't be cheap. Less than 50 quid a day.
Bro, it was a couple. I wrote down exactly what I needed done. It was a couple hundred quid.
That's quite good.
Yeah, to get all that.
Yeah, to move your whole house to a new house.
Yeah.
That move recently is such a hassle, isn't it? You have to have patience for moving. Bro.
You'd have to. Do you know what? I like kind of almost like to just switch off a little bit during the moving time because it is a stressful time.
Oh.
So for me, I just need to know what I need to do, and then just focus on what I need to do and just stay out of the way.
You're moving in 2 days. Omar's moving in about 2 days.
So tomorrow we will be in the new house.
Staying.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're moving today.
Like I said, we're moving all week, but
I done everything in 1 day. Can you believe that?
Yeah, but you moved out one room, didn't you?
Yeah, but also I had Nate Rose, and that was.
Oh yeah. Nate Rose. It's good they dropped his surname. Nate Rose is also very helpful.
Oh, so helpful.
I wish I could actually ask him to help.
He would help you, bro.
Yeah, but he works for you guys, so I thought it'd be quite rude if I just say, I'm just going to take one of your guys, just for a day. He's going to help
What's
me.
day tomorrow? We're Thursday.
Thursday.
He's not actually working tomorrow.
It's too late now. I've got someone. Or maybe is he here now?
No.
Who was here last time and you didn't let me say goodbye to him?
He's actually had the week off.
Has he?
This week. So that's actually a really good week for you.
If I can't just say, bro, I'm moving. I hear you did a great job at Faisal. See you at 9. Lol.
You could just like, but what are friends for?
I know.
Ask him and then.
But I'm sort of, like I said, I'm sorted. I think I'm sorted. And it's way out of his direction. He's in Brixton. I'm in Hertfordshire.
Cash.
Sorry?
Cash.
If I'm just going to pay, like, I might as well get man in the van and just do it. But I could pay.
But Nate's good.
He is good, but the man in the van's probably better.
Nah.
I take that back. But he obviously his job is to do that, and Nate's job is to do multiple things. But he's just a really good guy, Nate.
Yeah. Just give him a little cash.
Sorry?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Okay, yeah, it's cool, man. Moving's tough, but I'm glad that you are choosing to expand your horizons and your roof.
Yes.
So that you can, be in this place and be.
What are you talking
sufficient in the
about?
space in it.
What place?
Well, you're saying that you're outgrowing your current place.
Oh,
so
yes,
it's
yes,
nice
yes,
that
yes.
you're moving to a place that's
Bigger,
big enough, for
larger.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a kitchen nicer?
Yes.
What do you look
Kitchen's
for?
much nicer.
Okay.
Kitchen in my current place has been rubbish. In the sense that it's not very modern. There's no dishwasher and all these kind of things. So there's been some complaints about this current kitchen. Hasn't been a huge problem to me, but looks quite dated. To be fair, I wouldn't want to like take a selfie in the kitchen and put it up because it's quite a not very nice kitchen. But the new kitchen's very nice. We've just had the new floor done and all this kind of stuff.
Shall I tell you what my prestigious self really appreciates in a house when I'm looking for houses?
What's that, mate?
I really like a good door.
A door.
Yeah.
front door.
No, just the doors inside the house.
Yeah. You've got quite strong fire doors in your yard, haven't you?
Yeah,
They are fire doors, aren't they?
I think so.
They close when you just walk through. They just close themselves.
No.
Oh.
Yeah,
They do, don't they? That's where they're quite
Maybe.
heavy. Like you opened it and just closed.
No, I don't think they do actually.
Oh, you should get some
Well, some self-closing doors.
fire doors.
I think they are fire. Are fire doors ones that close themselves?
I assume they were.
Not sure. Is it carpet or is it
Good
wood?
question. Mostly all floorboards, other than my bedroom, which is carpet.
Same.
I've noticed. Floorboards are good. Floorboards are good.
Yeah.
We like a rug. We've got some nice big rugs as well, new rugs.
Bro, you guys need to get this thing right. It's called the 123 spray, and you get it from Asda for like 20 quid.
What is it, bro?
Oh my days, bro! For that flooring, it's sick. You put it's like a mop, yeah, but you put the
We've got it.
the bleach inside it and then hot water and then
We've got it.
yeah, sick in
Of course
it.
we've got it.
Only found out about that when
We've had it for a while, baby.
really,
We've had it for a while, baby. We've got it for the shop as well, to be fair.
really.
It's an essential, really, really good cleaning tool.
It takes all of the hassle out of a conventional mop.
It's nice that in 2019 that we're progressing in the whole cleaning
industry,
Yeah. Make it as easy as possible.
Yeah, my missus is really into this blogger called Mrs. Hinch. You must have heard of her. She's got like 2 million,
I
3
don't
million
follow
followers.
Female bloggers.
So she's a clean freak.
Mrs.
basically.
Flinch.
Mrs. Flinch.
What did you
Mrs.
say?
Hinch.
Hinch.
Yeah,
So I've never
yeah.
heard of her.
And well, all the girls are into her, it seems. And so when we moved out, my sister bought my missus a cleaning basket, like with all of these cleaning products in them, and she called it like the Hinch basket or something.
Was it from Mrs.
I don't know.
Hinch?
I think it was like
official?
all of the products that she recommended.
Is that all the girls are into, you say?
Yeah.
You say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Are they?
Find out. Go. Whoever you know
Yeah.
that's female. Speak
Okay.
to them and say, "Do you know Mrs. Hinch?"
Mrs. Hinch.
Yeah. They'll know.
Fine. I'll ask my mum.
Yeah. Text her right now.
No, we're in a podcast. We don't.
Send a cheeky little text. Hey mum, do you know Mrs. Hinch? Probably say, yeah, I actually use all of the products because who doesn't, basically. Here's another thing. Last week we spoke about jump roping.
Yes.
Me and Abdul Hakim.
Yes.
And
You're
since
flying,
then,
isn't it?
Since then, bro, so many people. So I just mentioned the rope that I bought.
Yeah.
I didn't say. I might have said that, like, if you want to get it, this is the one that I bought or something.
Okay.
But anyway, we've been getting so many messages from people who listen to Freshly Grounded who have bought that jump
Exact
rope.
same one, yeah.
And they're
What
jumping on this.
is it
vertical
called?
rope.
It's called jump rope.
It's called Beast Rope.
Beast rope.
Beast Rope, yeah. But
I've got a Nike skipping rope.
yeah, the one from Argos.
No, the one from Nike actually.
But it's Argos sell it.
Oh no, I went to Nike and got it. So I'm not sure if Argos sell the Nike product. I went to
Oh.
Nike directly and got it.
I've seen the Nike one.
I'm
in
not sure
Argos, so
what
maybe
Argos
it's
sell.
different
To be
one.
fair, they might sell it. It's just a Nike skipping rope.
Well, skipping ropes must be difficult for you to get because you have to get ones for a certain
A longer
height,
one, yeah, because some of us are above 6 foot. So yeah, so get a slightly longer one.
Yeah, I have to get slightly smaller one.
Do you?
I have to adjust the sizing.
You're doing good with your skipping, to be fair.
I
was really impressed.
I'm still beginner.
You had some
beginner
little
stages.
technique there, though.
Had a little. I could do the little crossover now.
Yeah, I see that. I'm not very good at skipping.
Oh, bro, I'm having,
love it, though. It's
I'm
like
having
it.
a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun skipping, and I'm using it to try and like shred fat. So
Yeah.
like you said, running you find it really fun.
Skipping, yeah.
Yeah, I find skipping fun.
Every time I go boxing, you have to start with skipping, and it kills. It really kills.
really?
And your t-shirt is drenched. By the time you even start your session, your t-shirt's drenched.
How
from
long did they
skipping.
ask you to skip for?
15 minutes?
Straight.
Nah, that little.
Yeah, I need to build up my stamina. But I'm really bad with stamina. I'm quite
Like you said, build it up. Takes that kind of.
Yeah, I'm
Takes
currently
time.
doing about 8 minutes, but
What?
not straight. I
You know
think
what?
I'll break- Not.
Not straight. So as in just stopping.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
After what? Stop after a minute or 30 seconds?
I
or
think like after a minute, I'm maybe taking like a 15-20 second break.
after a minute you're taking 15 minutes. It's pretty good though.
I think I haven't been timing it that well, but I know it's 8 minutes.
It's good. Really good. I was surprised. Like I said, I'm surprised about your technique. You're doing
My point is, bro, that loads of people buying the rope.
excellent.
Yeah, excellent for them.
Yeah.
Why didn't we sell our own freshly grounded
It's true.
rope?
It's true. It's true.
I've ruined it.
A beast rope, are they sponsoring you at all? Or you
No,
Wow.
They're going to be really
hit
happy
'em
now,
up.
though. They've had like so many people buying robes.
Yeah. People pay for advertising like that, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Good old beast rope.
Did you just say something? I should have emailed them first. Nah.
At least you brought them up on the second episode just to big them up even more.
Yeah, just to say
Promote
that
them,
really go buy all of their.
Yeah. So in case you missed last week, you're going to go and do it this week. Beast rope, yeah? Available at where? Argos.
I reckon they made a couple grand, bro, with that last episode. Is that me being optimistic? The £12 each. How many people would have to have bought it for? We got a lot of messages. What's 1,000 divided by 12? Oh, 83. I don't know if 83
too many people.
Yeah,
83 people didn't do it.
I don't know if 83 people bought the rope.
I know that 83 people didn't do it.
But yeah. So they didn't make grands of us, but maybe £100.
It's good. Drop them an email saying, are we open to have any of that income?
Yeah.
From the beast rope
So give
sales.
us 50%.
15% would be a good start.
Or maybe we just do our own skipping rope.
Or we can just promote health and exercise and just encourage people to do it without anyone.
Without financially benefiting of it.
Just go and skip. Or if you don't want to skip, go for a run. If you don't go for a run, go for a swim.
Anything we can sell for running, Sam?
No, let's just...
Quick.
What's wrong? What happened to you?
I've changed, Sam.
What happened
I
to
listened to...
I know. I
I need to turn my dial up.
Your financial system is flawed. Get away from me.
Let's talk about your hair change.
Sorry? Hair change?
Should we ignore it? Because last week we had Abd Hakim here.
Can't have... Oh, yeah. What do you think about that?
You shredded his hair off.
Shredded? That sounds...
You did do that, didn't you?
Shredded sounds like... Shredded.
No, it looks great, but I did tell him that I preferred his hair long.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Interesting.
And you
Did you see him the first time it got cut? Or
yeah.
just
No, I've only seen it
once?
the last week.
Okay.
Why, have you stopped cutting it?
No, I've done it twice.
Yeah.
First one was a bit longer on top, second one was a bit shorter. You're not a fan though, no?
I do like it. I think it looks good, but
I think he
hair.
looks better with short hair. I think he looks a lot better with short hair. But the long hair was very beautiful. But he does definitely, as a man, I think looks more powerful with this short haircut.
And what about yourself? Are you growing your hair out now?
I'm growing my hair, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
And who cuts your hair?
Midge cut my hair, and he does generally cut my hair, but I do have Dom cut my hair as well.
You don't go to Owen?
I don't go to Owen, but Owen's very, very good. You went to Owen recently.
I went to Owen. He's
Owen's
really
excellent.
I didn't go to Owen this time, but I went to him last time.
Owen's
really
excellent. He's very, very excellent. I'm quite open now with this hairstyle. When I grow it, I'll be a lot more relaxed who I go to. It was a lot more particularly when I had like a skin fade or a short hair on top. I think this is a lot more, not easy necessarily, but I think I know more people who will enjoy this haircut. I'm not, but yeah, I'm growing my hair long.
Nice. How long are we talking?
I'm going to grow it long.
Rapunzel long?
No, absolutely not. That would be bizarre.
Shoulders?
No.
Oh, so you have hair?
I've just got some hair that's
can't
sit back. I don't know why you're making such a huge deal.
You can't say we'll go hair long if you
I haven't made any announcement. I'm sitting here
just
minding my own business, talking to you, and you're like, "Oh, can we talk about your hair?" Yeah, I've got my hair. As you can see, it's a bit longer than normal. What else do you want to know?
You just made an announcement saying I'm growing my hair.
I am going to grow my hair.
I said, to your shoulders, which is the minimum.
No, you said Rapunzel, so it started off with a stupid thing. Rapunzel was
and then you said, I said shoulders. You said no, so you just got hair.
So you have to have your shoulders to have long hair.
Yeah,
that's long. No.
I think so. What are you saying?
I think the sunnah's just to the ear, isn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah, from what I was aware, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he had long hair, it was to the ear. So maybe like that.
Nice.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I used to have long hair. I used to have a ponytail back in the day.
Really?
I didn't have a beard though. Then a few years ago, I grew my hair and my beard, so I had long hair, cut quite curly when it's long, and I had a big beard, and I just looked. I was showing to meetings and stuff, it just didn't look appropriate. So I cut my hair off, thinking I want to keep the beard. So I'm going to try it again, but just a little bit more of a haircut. So yeah, long story short, I'm going to grow my hair. So not something you've never seen before, I don't think.
I haven't seen it before, no. I mean, I've seen long hair before.
Not on me.
Not on you. You've not seen long hair on me, have you, before?
I don't want to either.
Yeah, I've never had long hair.
That would be strange.
It'd be very strange.
Like Rapunzel.
That's just stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, a ridiculous thing to say.
It's just a ridiculous remark, really.
I know.
Sam, if you could eat,
yeah.
I know I'm going completely off topic, but ask this question to someone else. If you could eat anything in the world, and it would never make you like unhealthy or fat or anything like that, what would that thing be?
Ice cream.
Really? That was quick.
I know. Yeah, because I'm a fan of ice cream. I'm a real fan of ice cream. And if it's good ice cream, I can really crack on.
Are we talking about cornettos or are we talking like a tub of
I'm
ice
not
cream?
talking cornettos. We're talking. Well, I definitely like cornettos. I like anything with ice cream in it.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like ice cream.
That changed the game for me actually, because I do really like ice cream.
I really like ice cream. And I
Do
had
you
some
like-
really nice ice cream the other day. I had New Cut Door caramel chai latte.
I don't know if I'll be a fan
It
of
was
that.
from the convenience store up the road. No, you wouldn't. 'Cause let me guess, just vanilla.
Yeah, I was just vanilla.
No
How
way.
would you know that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my.
What's with just vanilla?
I was joking. You'd only eat just vanilla.
I like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, but would you have any other flavour? I forgot how fast you are.
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh
I don't
my
know. New
Do you remember
card-
when we went to Dubai and how many pancakes that you eating in
Can
Dubai?
I just turn it down a bit? Go back a bit. First of all, you just said that you got the ice cream for the convenience store.
Yeah, I know. I said that for you. Yeah.
To go to the convenience store.
Well, I don't need ice cream, so there wouldn't be no need for it.
Okay,
I don't like.
of course, because you'd stock up on the ice cream, you'd chuck it in
There'd be
your...
a big freezer in the larder.
What's the larder?
You've never heard of a larder?
No.
It's like where you keep all your fruit and veg and your like in like a traditional like English home with like a larder.
Oh, so you have a convenience store in your garden.
I don't use convenience stores, to be honest.
Except for when you need the ice cream.
I walked past it and I thought I'm going to go and just see what this man's doing in this shop. And I saw it and I thought I'm going to help support his business.
Nice.
So I took one and put a couple of pounds on the counter and went along my way.
Nice.
and ate it all that night.
Nice. Do you like the Magnum almond? That's my favorite.
Yes, I do. I love the Magnum.
What? Sorry.
There's a white chocolate Magnum with
Almond. Shut up.
no, not with almond.
Oh.
I'm not going to shut up either. I can't remember what it is. But it's nice. It's a slightly smaller one, but it's nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of ice cream, bro.
So a small white chocolate Magnum.
Sorry?
A small white chocolate Magnum.
No, I just like Magnums, bro. Any Magnums, man. White chocolate ones remind me of my grandma. When I was a little boy, when I used to go there, she used to give me a white chocolate Magnum quite often. So when I have one now, that smell of white chocolate takes me back to being a kid. Just thought I'd add that in there. But yeah, I mean, I really like ice cream, bro. What else do you want from me?
If it was me and I could
I was
have that
gonna say,
decision,
yeah.
it would be either biscuits
Okay.
or muffins. Chocolate chip muffins.
Really?
There's nothing better, bro, than a chocolate chip muffin with some milk. Oh.
Chocolate chip muffin.
But how quickly you'd put fat on, I have no idea. But chocolate chip muffin with some milk. Take a bite of the muffin, take a sip of the milk. Bite of the muffin, sip of the milk. Bite of the muffin, sip of the milk. Oof.
I had a Starbucks the other day. I had a mocha frappuccino and I had a muffin. White chocolate and blueberry.
Oh, I don't like blueberry in my muffins.
You just don't like anything, really, do you?
I don't like anything. If something's meant to be dessert, I don't want any fruit in it.
Okay, so blueberry.
That's a fruit.
What do you think you're getting? Do you think you're getting like lumps of blueberry? Do you think you're getting like a little bit of something blue?
No, why mix fruit? The only one I can.
Why what? Mix
The
fruit
only
and
one
what?
I like, I can justify is a banana cake.
You like muffins, you say?
Yeah, chocolate chip.
From what shop? Is there a favourite? Costco do very big ones.
Any shop really. I've very rarely had a bad chocolate chip muffin.
So okay, fine. So they were both. Strange enough, they were both desserts. We both said desserts. There's not like it wasn't like a burger or a pizza or anything like that.
Oh yeah, we're both sweet. We both have sweet treats.
So yours is. I mean, I really hate to say, and people can agree and leave their comments, but I think isn't a chocolate muffin like? I don't know. Is it up there? Is it something that you could just? Is it?
Like
Is it
biscuits.
Biscuits very average as well.
Oh my gosh, bro! When I
What particular biscuit?
maybe a custard cream.
Yeah,
I could lock off a packet of custard creams right now.
Your old office used to have a lot of custard creams.
Yeah.
I missed that. There's no custard creams in this gaff.
Custard creams, chocolate, just your regular
Bourbons?
chocolate chip
Coffins,
chocolate chip cookies.
cookies. Yeah, they're nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find the more you have, the better they taste as well? Because your the whole palate is just turns into like a big biscuit. Like,
Yeah.
and then you just finish it down. Did you say with milk? Did you say drink it with milk?
Yeah.
I like a little milk. Do you eat steak?
I'm partial to some steak. Not often though, bro.
Similar question. If you had to have your last meal on Earth,
So
what
I'm
would
on
it be?
death row now.
Yeah, I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to say death row.
You put me in death row.
There's no reason to say death row because that implies that you're gonna get killed for something horrible. So let's forget that. Just say your last meal on Earth. That's fine. You don't need to go any further than that. Starter, main, dessert, drink. Go.
Now it's dependent if they're going to give you
I just
electric
want to
chair.
say, I want to get 3 answers. Four answers. Starter, main, dessert, drink.
Okay, starters. Alright, starters I'm having.
Last meal on earth. Last meal. Last time you're ever going to taste something in dunya. Come on.
Okay, starters I'm having.
Quick.
I think cheese sambosak.
Sorry?
What?
Say again?
A cheese sambosak,
Okay.
which is like a Middle Eastern cheese pastry.
Yeah.
That's a starter, isn't
Okay,
it?
fine. That's your starter. You've had your starter.
Mains, I'm having... Ooh, mains.
Tick, tock.
It's difficult.
The chair's getting warmed up.
Yeah, I know, bro. I can't think. I can't think of what I could have. Oh, I'd have.
Your last meal, someone's going to say to you now, look, come quickly, you're going to eat now because we're about to take you down there. What do you want? You're really hungry. Come on.
Bro, I can't think, man. I need some
Chicken tikka
suggestions.
masala or something.
Okay.
Is it?
Maybe chicken tikka masala. Maybe.
Right, and rice. Plain
Yeah.
white rice. That's what you want. I knew you said that.
No,
Could've
I would
said
have it with a roti.
that. Sorry? Oh, yeah, with the roti.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your dessert, muffin and
Bread,
milk.
bread and muffin.
What? Okay, fine.
A bread and butter pudding.
And your drink?
And my drink. I'm gonna have water. I like water.
Just normal water.
Yeah. I mean, well, fine. Last drink on earth. You're talking
Strictly halal.
Okay.
Strictly halal. What your man's
That's okay. Last drink. Okay, fine. I'm having a
You like a coffee?
Oreo milkshake.
Oreo milkshake. Good answer. Good
What are
answer.
you? Start, go.
Calamari.
Right, main
Steak.
dessert. Snickers bar, Mars bar.
No. Oh.
Yeah, you like a Mars bar.
Wait.
Battered Mars bar.
Battered never had one. Wait.
Try it. It's your last meal. Zzz.
And for dessert, I would like to have chocolate bread and butter pudding.
There's no such thing.
Yes, there is. My mum makes
What?
it regularly. Chocolate bread and butter pudding.
Explain that.
Thank you.
How does that work?
With white cream. With cream.
So where's the chocolate though?
She makes it.
But where's
Chocolate. The whole thing is brown.
Is it brown?
Yeah.
No.
Chocolate bread and butter pudding. My mum makes it, and it's the
Oh
best
my
pudding in the world.
gosh.
A little bit of vanilla ice cream, even though I'm partial to have any flavours. I have it just because it suits this one. A little bit of cream on top. Boom. Kalas. Done.
Well,
A little 7-Up just to finish off.
I want that. Oh, you'll drink 7-Up.
Just why not? Why not?
I want that chocolate bread and butter pudding.
Too late, baby. You had your normal one, and now you go for the zapper.
No, but is there no chance that your mum?
You've eaten, and you're going.
No, I'm thinking
down.
in real life now. Could your mum ever make me a chocolate bread and butter pudding?
I could ask her.
I've
Yeah.
known you for about 3 years now, and I've only met your dad once on the street.
It's true.
Never
I've
met
never met
your
your
mum.
mother or father. So, in fact, I met your mother. At
You must have met at the event.
At the event. I
Did you?
I did. Yeah, I did.
I wasn't there.
No, I know.
Did you say, "Hey, I'm Sam"?
There was there was an encounter. I think Omar might have been hanging around. There was definitely
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I met your mother.
Yeah, my dad was invited to that event. There was a seat reserved for him, and we'll leave it at that.
He's probably busy though.
He's a busy man.
He's busy.
Yeah.
I think it was 70 excuses for him. He's busy.
Yeah.
Traffic was terrible. Probably.
He had
Loads more interesting things to do.
Yeah, loads of interesting things, especially regarding his 100th event.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. Have you met my nan before? I can't remember.
No, not in person.
And you've never met my uncle, have you? The one who
No, but I'd like to. I've spoken to him on social media once.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. You were there. You were semi-involved in the conversation. It was just like on a freshly kind of post once.
Oh, okay.
Just like a couple of comments were made.
You'd get along with him.
I think so. Yeah. I think we're quite similar in many ways. I'm
He-
joking. He seems like a very funny man.
Yeah.
I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. He recently had his all of his belongings stolen in King's Cross Station.
Really?
Yeah, the other day,
How?
about a week ago now. He was in King's Cross Station. He had all of his belongings in his bag because he's obviously travelling down here, and he looks at time that the train's coming, he turns around and the bag's been swiped.
No way.
He's on the train now, and as he's on the train, he's just getting texts from all of his bank accounts saying, because he's got all these accounts saying like, he was saying
He
like,
had his phone on him, obviously, and everything else gone.
bro, and he's getting texts saying, this many thousands has just been withdrawn, this many thousands has been withdrawn,
No
this many thousands
way.
from all of his bank account, and just thousands of pounds coming out of every single account. And he's on a train with no access to, because it was late at night, so no access to the Saudi banks, because he lives in Saudi, so he could access the Saudi banks, he could access one or two banks from London, but not really many. And just getting texts like, thank you for your purchase, this many thousands, this many thousands, this many thousands. And just all of his cards got like rinsed the minute he got them swiped. So someone, this is a professional thief.
Yeah, obviously,
He just obviously jacked the bag, and he obviously has his computer system, and he just swiped all of the cards. And then he's on the train, obviously really shaken up, and he gets a airdrop, on his iPhone, and it says, "Robber wants to share a picture with you." And he clicked accept, and it was just a face of like this like CGI face, like smiling, while he's on the train.
Really?
Yeah.
So airdropped. So that means someone was on the train with him.
Sounds something like a movie, doesn't it?
That means someone was on the train with him. It was airdropped, no?
Yeah.
So the robber was on the train with him.
No, apparently that's the weird thing, because then my other uncle managed to trace who sent that picture. There was like an account. There was like an account on the picture.
Okay.
That my uncle managed to get in contact with the guy, and the guy seemed like a normal guy who was like, "No, I'm not even in London, but my friends are in London, and I gave my phone away to one of my friends or something, but they're not like, that's not what they're not robbers or anything like that. They wouldn't have done that." And so it just seems like the maddest coincidence.
It sounds like something like Batman at the end, then.
Yeah,
isn't it? That's not very nice, though.
He's alright now. He's got a really strong mentality, man. He dealt with it.
That's good.
But he's had a bad couple of years, man. Obviously, his missus passed away about 2 years ago, and then
like a make or break a man.
Yeah, and this was like all of his belongings, man. Like, because obviously he's traveling, so he's like Saudi ID to get back into the country.
No way.
Yeah, his passport.
Did he sort it out, obviously? Or?
Yeah, he managed to just sort it out like last minute. And
what about all the money that was taken?
He said that he's like managed to obviously, but it's fraud in it. So the banks are gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know what the systems are of the banks over there, but like here in the UK, the banks like they would
cover you straight away.
Straight away. Yeah, man. Especially when you see that much. And also, the good thing about the banks here is that they very quickly clock when when something's a bit fraudy.
Yeah.
I had that call from Barclays once where they were like, "Oh, did you spend this much money here or something?" I think once someone tried using my card somewhere.
Like, yeah, I just turned the
dial up.
Yeah, don't watch me.
You haven't heard about my dial system. Bro, and then what happened is the other day, so this was like maybe a week and a half later, my uncle is going to a train station and he sees a bag and a prime opportunity to get you on back and steal this bag. Right. Anyway, so he sees this bag and clearly someone's dropped their bag and it has like a lot of things in it, potentially a lot of credit cards you could swipe. And my uncle just sees like this, what can only be described as like a guy who looks potentially like homeless or something. And he's like running towards the bag. And so my uncle manages to get the bag first. And he opens the bag, he looks inside it, and he finds the details of the person. He manages to track the person, rings him. Anyway, she comes back and she sees my uncle because she was nearby. She was so good. She's like, "Thank you so much. I was on my way to a meeting." And she's like this hotshot lawyer for like this massive law company. And she took my uncle's details and was like, "I really appreciate it, blah, blah. We're actually looking for someone with XYZ skills in our law firm. And I'd love to have a meeting with you like after my meetings."
Really?
Like maybe tomorrow or something. So they swapped contact numbers. And my uncle said obviously he's not looking for a job.
Yeah.
So
Did he say that to her?
Yeah, I think he said to her, "I'm not looking for a job." The point is that imagine, for example, if someone was looking for a job, like the one at the top law, she was like an executive. The point is doing something good in it.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's amazing how like a week after that happened to him, he had an opportunity to. Obviously, he would never do that.
Yeah, I know, but he was obviously in front of him.
He was on the other side of the coin, and look how he handled it, and how you should handle it.
Yeah, of course, man. Stealing's not good, man. Stealing's terrible. Isn't it? You gotta go back to go, well,
No.
That's
of course.
awful, man. That's horrible.
And think about how much you're ruining someone's life by doing all that as well.
Exactly, literally.
Like the stress, and they don't know how difficult over the last couple of years he's had, and like
Of
that
course.
could be the tipping edge.
It could be
like,
for many people. That could be the tipping edge. Even if
Yeah.
you're not having a bad time, that could be a tipping edge. Like your possessions are your possessions, man. I
Yeah.
once had a bag. I once had my bag. Everything in my bag stolen from me once. I remember the feeling.
And what did you have in your bag?
Money, phone, lots of money and a phone, and I was on holiday. I had,
So yeah, this
and
big bag.
had a
Big
bag on,
and it just had cash and one phone. in it. Now, if I'm no detective, Sam, but if that's me, and I grab that phone and I'm a police
so
officer,
the bag I had a bag on me. It was it was round, so it was on the back, and these people distracted me and basically stole everything out of the bag. And I was actually on holiday at the time, and it disrupted me so much. I flew an hour later. I was on a flight home,
okay,
which was totally erratic.
that was quite right.
But I was like,
would
I'm
do the same.
done here, and
Yeah,
literally
no.
flew. I had no money or phone, and my mate booked me a flight, and I just got out of there, man. It was disgusting. But yeah,
But just to kind of rewind on this. Now, I'm not saying that people listening to our podcast should be suspicious, but just what we learned in this podcast is that you have an uncle who we don't know his job, but it's important enough that he's had 3 meetings on his way to Australia.
he's a businessman.
Potentially works as like a James Bond style character.
You've mentioned the James Bond bit.
And fast forward some time, you're away in this random country. You
Just
have
in
a bag
a country.
full of cash and one mobile
I was
phone.
on holiday, and my phone that was taking pictures of my holiday. I was on. When you go on holiday, you take a bit extra spending money, and you have your phone on you. And I was out, and it was stolen.
You got distracted.
I was distracted by the people who did it.
You got distracted, and these people who you were doing this handover with, they
Handover.
they turned out they double crossed you, and they were double agents, and they
I think you've been
actually
watching too many
bag
films.
from
I
you.
think you've been watching too many films.
Okay,
You seem to be watching too many action films,
sure.
and you're trying to portray my life as something that it's not.
Sure.
I think you need to relax a little bit and stop watching action films and stop making things up.
So, at what point did you go back to your den?
So basically, 007 basically let me down, yeah. And basically, these other agents, they were doing my nutting, and they
Yeah, I was going to say, well, what way did you go back to your den and then speak to Michael Caine? And
the helicopter picked me up straight away,
Okay, fine.
and I came home.
Back home. I can't think of if I've ever had something stolen from me.
I got my house broken into once when I was younger as
I've
well.
had my house stolen into. Stolen into.
Stolen-
I've had my house
Really stolen into?
I've had my house broken into.
No, you don't forget that either. That's not nice.
Yeah, after that happened, I got security system. This was in my mum's house. I got
I
security
remember you talking about the
system
security system.
put in there, and
Yeah, we
also
did as well.
CCTV
We
cameras.
did as well.
Yeah.
We did as well. That was brutal.
Yeah, you can't risk those things, man. And stolen wise, I think that perhaps my phone. I've had my phone stolen once, maybe.
You know about it. You just feel like someone's just
Yeah, it's horrible.
stolen from you. So you don't. You're
Yeah,
very aware,
They don't deserve it.
bruv. Of course they don't.
Do you want to hear the caption that my uncle wrote to these people?
Yes.
He wrote to them because he wrote like an open letter to this person who stole his thing.
How do you do that? And where does it go?
He just put it on his Instagram. This is what he said. He said, "Open letter to thief. Open letter to the thief who stole my bag at King's Cross railway station this Sunday evening." You're going King's Cross after this, aren't you?
Yeah. Bit scared now.
Hold on a second.
I'm gonna call one of the agents.
Now you're going back to King's Cross. What are you doing in King's Cross? I don't know. All right, fine. Anyway, open letter to the thief who stole my bag at King's Cross railway station this Sunday evening. You have my passport, my driver's license, airline and hotel loyalty, and many other cards. And he mentioned the hotel loyalty cards. Big thing. You have the listen to this, but this is sad. He goes, you have the final gift my late wife ever gave me, a beautiful pillbox from our final family vacation in Vienna. You have my cash, my credit cards, which you have already used to clear all of my accounts. You have my Filofax, which has info I will find almost impossible. I will find almost impossible to find again. But do you know what else you have? You have my forgiveness and my sympathy.
SubhanAllah.
While I was fortunate enough by the grace of God to grow up in a loving household where my parents taught me the difference between right and wrong and the value of hard work, which resulted in me making something of my life, you obviously were not so fortunate. I took the long route to success, overcoming hardships and roadblocks, so I stayed humble, knowing that God can take away everything in a single second. I could go back to zero and still be happy knowing that I have never caused any harm to anyone in my life. You, on the other hand, obviously grew up thinking that the answer is a shortcut. You grew up without a conscience and without regard for the pain and misery your crimes cause your victims. I want to thank you for making me a stronger person and reinforcing my long-held belief that true happiness and security don't come from the possession of material things, no matter how attached we get to them, but in thoughts, kind acts and feelings. You may be able to take my belongings, open bracket, you have certainly inconvenienced me, close bracket, but you will never be able to rob me of my spirit, which is flying as high today as it always was. Enjoy your short-lived wealth, but do prepare some good answers for that day where we will all have to account for our actions in this temporary thing we call life. I pray for you and your family.
SubhanAllah.
Powerful.
Wow. Very powerful. Goosebumps on my legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's powerful. Yeah, it's good. Wow.
What
a great man.
I'm actually going to break some breaking news here. He's doing a keynote at our next Freshly Grounded event.
Jeez!
He's flying in from Saudi.
Jeez! Yeah. Man-like.
And we haven't actually announced our next event, but he is doing a keynote, and he, inshallah, and he works for like an amazing company. It's actually the world's richest company, I think it is, and they have about 70,000 staff, and he trains them how to be good people, basically. Good
really?
people. Yeah, that's like he works in HR, and so he's doing a keynote. So our next event's gonna be very powerful, inshallah. Tickets are a bit more pricey than the last event, but we've turned the dial fully up.
Yeah.
On this next event.
Yeah, this is when you put your dial up for sure.
So inshallah, make dua that everything goes through, but it's looking like if the event goes forward,
inshallah, everyone make dua, inshallah, for Freshly Grounded events, inshallah.
He's gonna be the main event. Do you want to hear what the open letter that he wrote to about the picking up the bag? You might as well now. So this is when he picked up the bag outside the news station.
Okay, yeah.
He goes, in capitals, "Do the right thing."
Whoa.
Just says that in capitals. "Many of you have been supportive after hearing news that I was robbed at King's Cross Station recently. Thank you so much. I would just like to add to that after this podcast, you are a suspect, Sam."
What? I can't wait to go back there and get my money, man. That's true. I can't say that.
Yesterday, I was walking past this ATM machine when I saw a bag on the floor containing a laptop and sensitive documents. Using information in the bag, open bracket, an email with contact details, close bracket, I was able to reunite it quickly with its owner, a very relieved lawyer from a top UK consultancy firm. I can't explain how happy it made me to see sheer relief and gratitude on her face. She said, "I was literally about to have a heart attack." And now, on a side note, we don't know if she was literally going to have a heart attack.
But I think she meant she was worried, yeah.
Figuratively.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually change that, because I'm going to say, she said, "I was figuratively about to have a heart attack." Key lesson, he writes. "We all have choices in life. Making the right ones and staying true to our values brings big benefits." There you go, man.
He's the man.
Yeah, man.
Who would win in a fight, do you think, out of him and my uncle?
Well, your uncle would have all the gadgets.
But how do you know that? You've made that up.
Well, my uncle doesn't have shoes that shoot out with whatever.
What does he have?
He has kindness.
Yes.
Warmth.
Yes.
So
I think he will lose the fight.
Yeah.
He will lose the fight.
Yeah, but
he's a very nice guy.
A very nice guy.
And he's leading the Freshly Grounded event, so he's the winner, really, isn't he?
Yeah, he's main eventing. So yeah, man, it's powerful stuff.
Yeah. Good lesson there. I've learned a lesson myself there.
What did you learn there? Not to steal again? No, I'm sorry, not to steal ever?
No, just I'm going to get out of here and put my dial up, baby. Yeah, no, of course never to steal. But no, it's just that material items is true. It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, man, it is very true, man. And it's good to know that, it's good to always remind yourself that everything can be taken away.
It really can, yeah.
It can, man. Like, we talk about it on one level, like everything can be taken away on a material level, but even if we remember what happened with Grenfell all those years back, there was a guy in the mosque who lost his wife and children, and that's a different level. That's not material items, that's your life that you've lost. And he actually picked him, well, I don't want to say picked himself back up, but you know, within a few weeks he was in the mosque handing out food, like he was serving the people.
SubhanAllah. Yeah.
it goes to show that it goes to show that really shows the character in a person, first of all. When you lose everything and how you behave after that.
You're right.
Putting your trust in Allah, believing that this world is temporary, and understanding that, internalizing that. You don't wish that kind of stuff upon anybody, but it's amazing to see how people react to situations. And you have to think back. You have to think to yourself and say, realistically, how would I react in negative situations? And I'll be the first to say that I don't react the best in negative situations at all. Yeah, and especially when you think of like real extremes, I think I have quite a weak mind. I have a tendency to probably be like to shut down, which is a shame. Because ultimately we know that God doesn't burden us all with more than it can bear. So why are you shutting down? I'm asking myself. You know what I mean? Like, why are you shutting down? Because you know the truth that you wouldn't be given this if you couldn't handle it. So why are you almost pretending like you can't handle it?
When you say shutting down, example would be
feeling like I can't handle it.
You're talking about being tested with something and how you
Exactly.
respond to it with sitting with your head in your hand saying I can't do it.
Yeah.
That obviously is weak, but that's almost the easier option to do it. And you can do it, but that takes strength. And sometimes having that strength and picking yourself up is the test of character, isn't it? And is the test of strength. But you have to train yourself to be strong, man. You mean you can't have something like what your uncle said, thank you for making me stronger. Only with these hardships can you get that strength. And only by going through certain situations and whatever it is, you can really understand what that inner strength is. And if you haven't been tested and you haven't been through certain things, you're not going to have it there. But that's why these are all the blessings. Sorry, all the tests we go through, whether they seem good or bad, positive or negative, ultimately they're all positive because they're all there's a lesson in all of them. And sometimes you don't realise it at the time or even years afterwards. But who knows? Like your uncle said, thank you for making me a stronger person. He understands that through these tests, you do come out better, stronger, more powerful as a person. Forget the material items. It's how you deal with it. And if he can deal with it like that, that's truly remarkable. That's like something Prophet Muhammad said how he would deal with it. Do you know what I mean? That's amazing because I don't think I could. I'd love to say I could, but I don't know if I could.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, and that's just me being honest. I think you'd be extremely. I'll still be moaning about it till today, especially the things he's listed. Cash cards, fine. Other things he listed, like the filer flax with things like we all know that we've all got these personal things like notes and whatever it is that are so valuable and you can't even really explain what they are. Something from his late wife. That's the
gift from his late wife.
That's cash comes and goes, whatever. You can sort out the fraud, but the things like that, it's like that can be really it can upset you, man. So it's good. I respect that. Highly respect that. What a fantastic way to deal with it. And just that reminder at the end about the day of judgment, mate, and that's what it comes down to. Yeah. Do what you want, get away with it while you're in the dunya, but remember you're gonna have to stand and answer for everything anyway.
Imagine actually being questioned about like everything. Like, okay, what about this? What about this? And you have to try and come up with an answer. Like, what would you say? Like, what was a valid answer you could say that would actually get you?
For
like
stealing.
Yeah,
you're not gonna have one.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
You're not gonna have one. Not in that situation anyway. What, Central London, some scammer comes up and just robs your bag.
Swipes all your cards.
Maybe in a poor village in Pakistan, someone took someone else's rice because they were for their family. I don't know. I'm not saying it makes it okay, but there's reasons where you can kind of understand. But yeah,
you should come out to Pakistan sometime.
I'd love to come to Pakistan, but you've only been there once yourself recently.
That's my home.
Yeah, but I had to talk you into it as well. You were nervous, bruv. I talked you into it, bruv. I'd love to.
I've only been there once. And we have Omar Chowdhury walking in.
I would love to go to Pakistan with you and Omar. If you invite me, that'd be amazing. Let's organise it.
I don't think... yeah, maybe.
Omar likes Pakistan, doesn't he?
Yeah, should we go Pakistan with me, you and Sam? Me, you and Sam, Pakistan.
Yes, Omar. Assalamu alaikum.
Sam, you'd stick out like a sore thumb.
Probably, yeah.
You already do everywhere you go.
How are you, bro? You okay, yeah? And you're right, yeah? Thank you, bro. I like your hair as well. Yeah. New ting. Something new. Yeah. You okay, yeah? Busy, yeah? Amazing.
You're moving house right now. So
yeah, so am I.
Oh, Sam's moving house as well.
Literally this week as well, bro, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know. Because he would be on me. If I flopped this, he would be on me. He'd be guilt trip me, so I had to come.
Oh man, that's good. There you guys come
Yeah, go on, do your thing. Go on. Yeah. Nice one, bro.
It's a good point though. I would, if you didn't come today, I would have cried.
You would have you would have ended everything, I think. As in, like, you would have been angry. You'd have been very angry.
You made it though.
I made it.
I'm friendly. What was it that you were saying about when we went to Dubai, me having pancakes?
We were talking about ice cream at the time, and I just remember being in Dubai. You had a big appetite for a lot very sugary things, and I remember kept on seeing you in the cheesecake factory, not pancakes. Cheesecake. You kept having cheesecake. Remember you eating a lot of cheesecake?
Yeah, probably.
You don't remember, no?
No, but I remember going. I remember going to IHOP in Dubai the next time after I went, and I regret not having gone when I was with you.
Okay.
Have you been to IHOP?
No.
Bro, the best breakfast: pancakes, waffles, everything's halal. You can get for like a full English.
Nice.
Dubai.
IHOP,
Yeah. Full English in Dubai.
Nice.
Bro, IHOP is amazing. Next time we go out there, inshallah, for an episode, let's go to IHOP. Maybe we could do an episode in IHOP. Maybe IHOP want to call us over to Dubai.
We should go to Dubai.
And do an episode out there.
That'd be nice.
Or maybe Beast Rope can sponsor our trip to Dubai, seeing as we've sold them.
We'll pay half of the flights.
Thousands, yeah. Maybe business class flights.
Yeah.
Maybe Ramit, who we're promoting in the podcast, he could turn his dial up and say, you know what, these guys really
big me up today. Let's turn the dial up.
I'm turning that dial up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's make their life convenient.
Yeah. I would actually really love to have Ramit Sethi on this podcast one day. Here's me putting it out there that if he's ever in London, I'd love to learn his organisation tips from his organisation with money. His organisation. I'd love to question him on his reasonings of having these meetings with his wife.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And just other parts, like, okay, now we know about his organisation with money, but what about your organisation with, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Exercise, you could say?
Yeah, exercise, yeah. Because obviously, because it would obviously be like a much more like...
He's obviously got a lot of systems for everything he does. It'd be nice to study him to see what he does, yeah.
Because it would, obviously the focus would be more on like money and growth and business rather than on religion and stuff.
For him?
Yeah, well, the interview that we have with him.
Yes.
But the thing that interests me is he said that he's not big on this is one of his big things. That's it. He said that he likes to increase the amount of things that he does that decreases his decision making.
He likes to increase the things that
basically
decreases
decision making. Basically, he doesn't like making decisions. Spending time on decisions is a waste of time. So he has habits for that reason. Okay. So like if for example you have a morning routine, like yours for example is feed the kids, go on a run, close your eyes, and come back. That's your morning routine. Now,
what's your morning routine? We all know it from
discussed it maybe
episode 2. Yeah.
The thing is, that now that you have that morning routine, that's one extra decision you don't have to make in the morning.
Yeah, true, because you have it already.
You have it. You just have it. And so he says that with food as well. He says, I pretty much eat the same food every single day because that's another decision that I don't have to eat. He didn't say what he eats, but what he eats is the same, pretty much the same thing. And then now he doesn't have to make the decision of what to eat. It's that cuts time.
Incredibly boring, but
but
cuts time. But he's going to be really sick.
Turns the dial down on when it comes to eating. But best know that when he's flying,
he's baiting. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah, man. Guys and girls, this was Freshly Grounded, episode 111.
11. Wow.
111. Yeah. What was the last one you won? 52?
One before this.
Okay.
Sorry?
Sorry. This is episode 111 with Big Man Sam and Big Face and next week, Sam, you be here, inshallah.
Yeah, I'll put the moving on hold. I'll put everything on hold. The kids can do whatever. Our businesses can go to one side. I'll make sure I'm here. No problem at all. As long as you're happy, Big Papa Face. Let's go.
All right, cool. Guys, this is episode 111, and we are
out of here.
Outie, yes.